Hare Krishna, it's Ivy. I'm a spiritual life coach and loving devotee of Lord Krishna. For those of you who do not know the mantra, I'm just gonna say it slowly this time. Alright? It's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you have just recently started chanting and you find yourself not being able to complete a round or not having motivation to do it, this is okay. I want you to make sure that you don't feel obligated and just start with 1 to 5 beads a day and watch how naturally charming it becomes. You can chant at any time, during any point of the day, even in your mind. Just a reminder, Krishna has requested that I read chapter 10, text 20. I'm going to read the verse and the purport to you, and then we'll discuss it a little bit. The verse is Krishna speaking. He says, I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. In this verse, Arjuna is addressed as one who has conquered the darkness of sleep. For those who are sleeping in the darkness of ignorance, it is not possible to understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself in various ways in the material and spiritual worlds. Thus, this address by Krishna to Arjuna is significant. Because Arjuna is above such darkness, the personality of Godhead agrees to describe his various opulences. Krishna first informs Arjuna that he is the soul of the entire cosmic manifestation by dint of his primary expansion. Before the material creation, the Supreme Lord, by his plenary expansion, accepts the Purusa incarnation, and from him, everything begins. Therefore, he is Atma, the soul of the Mahatattva, the universal elements. The total material energy is not the cause of the creation. Let me repeat that again, actually. The total material energy is not the cause of creation. Actually, the Mahavishnu enters into the Mahatattva, the total material energy. He is the soul. When Mahavishnu enters into the manifested universes, he again manifests himself as the super soul in each and every entity. We have experienced that the personal body of the living entity exists due to the presence of a spiritual spark. We have experienced that the personal body of the living entity exists due to the presence of the spiritual spark. Without the existence of the spiritual spark, the body cannot develop. Similarly, the material manifestation cannot develop unless the Supreme Soul Krishna enters. There's a quote, it says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing as a super soul in all manifested universes. This is so cool. I was looking at the word father. The TV said father. Hare Krishna, am I right? So, chapter 9, text 17. Krishna says, I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I'm the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rigveda Sama and the Ajurvedas. For a moment before I read this purport, I would like to offer my respectful obeisances to Swami Prabhupada. The entire cosmic manifestations, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In material existence, we create different relationships with different entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcels of Krishna. Let's stop mid-purport because this could be very easily misunderstood in a way that could be pretty harmful to the mind. Going back to the line, in material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. This is not saying that they literally are not our mother, our father, these living entities that we've grown to know and love. The Gita is explaining that we have seen them only as material, as Krishna's marginal energy, as a body. And Arjuna right now is being introduced to the concept of all of these individuals being a soul, both individually and as a piece or part and parcel of Krishna. Through the process of falling in love with Krishna, I actually started to see him within others. And it's not like Krishna takes people over. That's not what's going on. He's always one with them. Just sometimes, the more aware you become, the more Krishna conscious you become, the more you can hear what's going on unconsciously, and sometimes the one in front of you may speak the words without knowing they meant to. Before I read this next line, I want to make this very clear. He is not talking about illusion right now. It is something separate. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear to be our father, mother, grandfather, creator, but actually there are parts and parcels of Krishna. When we remember Krishna, when we remember our love for God, we remember our true selves, and therefore we are able to recognize the eternal position, the part of people who are pure, what they were like before their soul went through the process of conditioning. So when it says under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, it's not saying it's an illusion that they appear that way. In fact, it's the opposite. Arjuna has been freed from this illusion to see them as a body and a soul, as one. Actually, any living entity being part and parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas, therefore, aim only toward Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step towards understanding Krishna. The subject matter, which helps us purify our constitutional position, is especially Krishna. Similarly, the living entity who is inquisitive to understand all Vedic principles is also part and parcel of Krishna, and as such is also Krishna. In all Vedic mantras, the word Om, called pranava, is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all hymns of the four Vedas, this is very prominent, it is all understood to be Krishna. As we come to know, love, understand Krishna, this helps us purify our constitutional position. Our constitutional position is our eternal position. Now coming back over to text 18, chapter 9, text 18. The purport starts with Gati, means the destination where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. Well, first of all, why is the ultimate goal Krishna? It's very simple. The material world is full of miseries. We basically go through life on material happiness, thinking that's all there really is to it. Out of ignorance of our true selves, we don't know our destination. So we pick random ones day to day to day. Work, school, anything to fill this life we have built for ourselves. But the ultimate goal of human life is to fall in love with God, so that way you can return back to Godhead and you can end going through this cycle of birth and death. That's why this this purport says, one who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make their destination different demigods or rigid performance of strict respective methods. They reach different planets. It's beautiful to respect demigods, gods, and goddesses. Okay? But we can't let this take from us, first of all, respecting all individuals, honoring all of them, and acknowledging that even that demigod has a piece of Krishna seated within their hearts. So, still, even if you didn't realize it, Krishna was the ultimate destination. Now, since Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation, he is what other people may call the unmanifest or the universal mind. Krishna is not the material world in of itself, though he is the creator of it. He is the source of all creation. So he has to be the cause of all causes. This is important because we have falsely lived from this perspective, this completely untrue perspective, that things in the physical world are what causes things to happen to us, or causes other things to happen, when really everything manifests within the unmanifest, within Krishna, within the cause, first. Spiritual energy is the cause. The material world is the effect.